Welcome back, everyone. I apologize for the frustration and the issues with the Codcaster yet again, as we are still stuck in the above point of view when it comes into hardpoint. Just, yeah, it sucks. It really does. It's really annoying. Apologies for that, but of course we do have our semifinal matchup going on between Dumpstered and the boys on NexTThreat. Of course, we do have our other semifinal going on as well, which I believe is taking place between Yo What Up and the boys on Luminosity Gaming. So keeping in mind, the winner of this faces off against the winner of that. And up to this point, of course, we're able to watch NexTThreat a little bit. Obviously, watch them in their quarterfinal matchup versus Merkin Clan, where they had such an easy time winning that one in a hot 2-0. And so far for Dumpstered, haven't been able to cast over them, but of course they're here for a reason. Playing well so far in this hardpoint, taking out the likes of EZG, Beyond Reality, and also most recently FaZe Clan. And starting off very well when it came down to this hardpoint. Players to be looking out for, at least from what I've been able to see in the past, is Onyx and Zaptius, players that I've personally heard of in the scene, but not really heard too much of Frostyyy in return. So excited to see some new talent tonight, Chen.
And Dumpstered having a very strong start, pretty much the entire hold of the first hill, and even having preferable spawns for Fort Courtyard. But now NexTThreat showing up is currently Ricky, will be here on the hill. And the rest of the team soon to follow as they're trying to stay alive. The kill feed currently in favor of Dumpstered, wow, where they take it back and hold it for now. But hopefully NexTThreat will be able to hold those castle spawns, which they currently have, and that's exactly how they're setting up. Giving up the whole 30 seconds to Dumpstered, well, they'll pretty much start with 112 probably.
Yeah, and I believe like that actual rush from Onyx in return, they kind of made their way through middle map with about 25 seconds. What they're doing is just kind of being able to try and set up early for the next hardpoint, realizing that, hey, we've got control for the next hill. Maybe we can kind of catch a player off guard, maybe find 1 or 2 kills to make our job a little bit easier. So, of course, making that wraparound early, very solid play coming in from them. Of course, doesn't work out, and the boys on NexTThreat already aware of what could be a potential flank getting toward the back lines. Methodz currently locking things down. Censor actually pulling out with the FG42. Not prone to seeing him actually rock that particular weapon or going to hold the flank, but seems to be working out for them for right now, as at least from what I've been able to see on King's Road. Not necessarily known as the money hill on this map, but one that is incredibly difficult to break, especially whenever you can kind of make it through that mid-street. But it seems like the boys on NexTThreat might have had those spawns lost for a moment, but thankfully Nagafen and Censor are there to pick things up, and they'll be able to hold back into control for now. But definitely a very scary scenario, as it looks like trades will go back and forth, and the boys on NexTThreat will hold on to those spawns for now.
Yeah, GloFrostyyy tried to come up at the last minute, gets a nice 2-piece, but not enough to really win back those the last 10 seconds of Castle Road. But on turret side, you can see Dumpstered already set up over on this right side of the map, and they're expecting this push from NexTThreat coming through Cave, and it's all going to see how these engagements go. They also, NexTThreat have one coming completely from behind. So actually pushing 2 from behind. So Dumpstered now going to get pinched from all corners, but it's Ricky and Censor opening up the kill feed with 3 of each, now giving Dumpstered those castle spawns. NexTThreat looking to make a comeback here.
Indeed, they are doing a great job at holding that last hill and doing some work right now inside a turret. Nagafen locking the time down and not having a whole lot of team support in front of him where he's looking, but in the back lines, that's where we're seeing a lot of that teammate support come from. It looks like Ricky just happens to turn around at the best time possible for him, pulls out the machine pistol, and goes to work. And Nagafen, having the easiest time, of course, picks off one there onto Frostyyy, but still locks just about every single second down here in the last 2 hard points, and that's where they've taken the lead and just passed the 100-second mark. What seemed like a fantastic beginning for Dumpstered is now turned into an opposition lead, as they've also got great control when it comes down the middle, locking things down and kind of setting up shop here for mid-map.
Yeah, NexTThreat are feeling way more comfortable into this middle part of the map, able to spread their players out so much from that turret hill, now back into pit center. You can see they got this high ground on bricks, having one of their players into the hill, and look how they're able to set up around the hill. This is going to be a tough job here for Dumpstered, and look at that, Ricky already opening up with a 2-piece, and now they're trying to also focus on getting those Fort Courtyard spawns eventually for the hill coming up in 30 seconds, but it's currently in favor of Dumpstered having those spawns, and I guess they could give up this 30 seconds. They're not too far behind in the score, but they're still fighting for this pit center where the kill feed is all for NexTThreat.
Indeed it is, but Onyx locking down some seconds, of course, only 34 seconds in the hill compared to Zaptius, who's got basically every single second for the boys on Dumpster. Of course, keeping in mind the rotation that is going to be coming toward this backside. It looks like it will be the boys on NexTThreat with current control, but just like that, player toward the back line. Censor and Methodz doing huge work, but there's one in the back. Who is this? Looks like it might be Frostyyy. As long as he can stay up, as he does find one on the Censor, if he can kind of contest this and win this battle, he could flip spawns for his team. Position is known. Here come the streaks, and Nagafen is able to shut down Onyx at the same time. Few will go down in return, trying to hold on for as long as possible, but only about 3 seconds gained, as yet again, NexTThreat setting up shop and doing incredibly well at it. Nagafen sitting at 13-7, Censor 14-11, and Ricky 14-10. When it came down to this lineup, and we've been talking about in their early matches versus Merkin here, Jen, we've been saying, can the slaying be here for this team? Can they do it versus top squads, and especially being top respawn teams as well? And it's really going to be a big testament of them, I think, throughout the year or for as long as this roster does exist, is that Methodz and Nagafen usually are going to be the guys who are at the top of the scoreboard. However, it's the opposite. Ricky and Censor getting up in that kill margin, along with getting time in the hard point, is Methodz and Nagafen. So swapping of roles, and it seems to be working out well for them. I'm pleasantly surprised.
And NexTThreat started this hard point quite a deficit, probably what, 50, 60 points? Now they're feeling a lot comfortable, up by 70 points. Streaks coming in from Nagafen, able to cut Dumpster's players in half. Now into Castle Road, still in favor of Dumpster. They're getting those preferable spots, although NexTThreat are all over your kill feed. They're having a hard time entering the hill because they're spawning so far away from it, but with 30 seconds left, they're in a comfortable lead, so they could just focus on controlling middle map and turret side and stopping the push coming from cave. But like that, they actually flip spawns and get those preferable castle spawns at the last 20 seconds, so now Dumpster having to just give that up and go towards the middle map and towards turret. Nagafen is a force to be reckoned with here.
Yeah, that was a huge pickup there from Nagafen, able to, of course, get the last seconds guaranteed for his team. And as he does that, he also was able to grab the last 20 seconds, like you just said, Jen. So, of course, rotation. Now coming in toward turret, it looks like Nagafen was actually holding a pleasant little angle there toward the side of comms building. Did get picked off there from Frostyyy. So with that, we'll see if they can try to engage on this hill. But here comes Nagafen doing some work with that fighter pilot. Picks up 2 as we see the plane just glide past the little sky camera there, as Nagafen does wave goodbye, and most likely waving goodbye toward the boys on Dumpster as well, as currently 23-11 for Nagafen, double positive, and also has 1 minute and 10 seconds inside of the hill, as Zaptius does find 3, but doesn't find the 4th, and Nagafen saying just the last one that you needed, but the last one that you will not get, as it will be a final retake on toward turret for the guys on Dumpster. In the last set of rotations, this is one where Nagafen was sitting pretty on. A lot of that 1 minute and 11 time was found on this exact hill in the last set of rotations, and I think that was a major reason why we see a huge lead right now for the guys on NexTThreat, is because of this exact hill. So kind of a little bit of a better performance coming in from the boys on Dumpster, kind of recapping a little bit, but this is going to be a insane deficit for them to try to make up, one that is most likely impossible.
Yeah, that was an important break from Dumpster over on turret, because NexTThreat could have won on the turret hill if it wasn't for the important engagements that Dumpster won. Now into pit center, however, Dumpster are not even close to breaking this. So look how spread everybody is. Now that you guys are stuck in the overview, you get to see the exact positioning of everybody around the map. And not even close, like I said. It's 250 to 137 is the final score for NexTThreat, taking this into the S&D. But of course, not as painful as what the 250 to 30 hard point we casted last.
Yeah, that was pretty
so
brutal.
We're slowly giving you better gameplay. If only we could give you the better POV, and we apologize. It's really not us. It's the game that magically likes to do this. Leave us a surprise.
Yeah. It's kind of frustrating, I think it's fair to say. But, of course, in the first respawn versus Merkin Clan in the quarterfinal matchup, we see Methodz have a fantastic performance. And in this one, we see Nagafen finish off 29-13 over double positive and finishes off with 1 minute and 11 seconds inside of the hill. And despite Methodz not playing the greatest, he also hops in with 1 minute and 18 despite going -4. So major props to the boys on, like I said, on NexTThreat for doing exactly what they need to. Everyone kind of filling the roles, filling the gaps of the overall scoreline. And, of course, veteranship definitely paying off when it came down to being at a deficit and making that overall comeback, because they just totally stomped on. But we do apologize, of course, for the Codcaster. Michael Condry, if you're listening, if you're watching, please help us. Help me, please. I really appreciate it. We need to get this fixed, because it's kind of a problem, and it makes me sad. And it's very difficult to kind of keep up with what's happening. So please, Michael Condry, I'm begging you. I really appreciate it. I love your game. It's fantastic, but please help us out. So, of course, like I said, guys, map number 2 will be Search and Destroy on London Docks. How will that one obviously play out? Will the boys on NexTThreat continue their dominance for the latter parts of that hard point now into the Search and Destroy? Or will the guys on Dumpster, some of these guys actually known for their Search and Destroy game, can they recap? Can they get back in this match on some S&D? Ladies and gentlemen, it's match number 2 of our semifinal, and we're in first-person point of view. It's never looked so good as it is our current, like I said, semifinal going on between Dumpstered and NexTThreat. Hopping in here toward Arden Forest, as it is myself, Lando, live here in the UMG studio, joined alongside by Jen, a.k.a. Lemon Kiwi, from home. Jen.
From home.
From home. I knew you were going to say that. I was trying to slip it in there and see if you would notice, but you did. Jen, like I said, map 2. How you feeling? What are you thinking?
I think you should just call me Jen from the forest now, because we've seen
Arden
gameplay,
Forest but it's fine.
6,000 times. And before we're even done introducing, Censor's already left in a 1 versus 4 against 4 players of Dumpster, who of course have the bomb in hand, easily set up for cabin. Plant is T-return looking for this kill on Censor coming from behind, and good night. Dumpster already up 1 round, as not a single kill was earned from NexTThreat after such a dominating win on the hardpoint.
Yeah, that was kind of a interesting storyline that we obviously saw in the last series that took place, of course, from the guys on EU Cadets. Was the same story. They obviously lose the first hardpoint in very dominant fashion versus the What's Up crew, Legal and Co. And kind of respond back to the Search and Destroy, winning this one 6-2. So, got to keep in mind, the momentum of a series really relies on the first few rounds of map number 2 here, especially when it comes to the best of 3. So, keeping that in the back of the minds. Well, it was a dominant performance in map 1. We'll see how the guys on Dumpster can try and respond. Of course, this is most likely their preferred game mode, at least coming from what I believe is their history. So, keeping that in mind, it looks like heading into round number 2 will be Censor, getting the bomb down, doing the objective work, and player walks right into his line sight. Onyx, rather unfortunate timing, probably wouldn't have engaged on that had he known that the indicator was about to go through onto his screen. But Zaptius, toward the back lines, does have a nice little camo there. Diamond camo on the FG42. But if only it was a variant that could increase damage. Frosty.
Or aim.
1v4.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or aim, potentially just, just lock onto someone's head.
Auto aim would be sweet. But GloFrostyyy now in a 1 versus 4. Similar scenario that we've seen in round number 1, except now the other way around, where NexTThreat will have this easy round win. Oh, but GloFrostyyy finds one. Censor too scared to finish off the kill, as we'll just disengage and let the bomb go off. Oh, there you go. Now Censor re-engages. Okay, he gets the kill there, but now 1-1. Dumpster will now be back on the offense. Things are evened up, 1 apiece.
Indeed they are. So, like I said, after momentum, at least the guys at NexTThreat are able to respond back. So, of course, strong play there coming in from those Censor and Methodz as they combine for 2. And now looking on here with our offensive team, yet again, the guys on Dumpster, will they engage onto this B site? As it looks like a gas grenade actually being thrown out there. I know those are a pretty kind of underlying strategy, not a whole lot of teams are using them. I know like squads like E6 and Parasite's team Ground Zero, known for Rocky Nose and Hardpoint, actually on this specific map, can do a lot. Kind of acts as a permanent stun, if you will, to kind of put it in layman's terms. But of course, seeing it brought out here early as 3 get picked off, and they don't even need to get the bomb down here. I mean, of course, it's just for score, but just totally walking over the side of NexTThreat when it comes down to their offensive rounds as they win back-to-back ones. But overall, 2-1 in the scoreline. As back and forth we go. Dominant rounds every single time here, Jen. As if it were to stick to the series up to this point, we should see NexTThreat win this one in like a 3v1, 4v1 scenario.
Yeah, 100% like win rate on offense for both these teams. Still trying to figure out how to do some defense here. Yeah. As plants going on for each side. Well, we'll see now what Censor and friends can do. Of course, Censor getting caught in a bad position that last round, getting shot from behind, but we'll see how they do taking over Ruins, but they're going to be met here by Onyx and Co., who Censor gets a nice first blood, and GloFrostyyy should be there for the pick, but no, Methodz shuts him down as well. The Censor gets a free bomb plant over at B as T-return over on mid-map. Closest one to engagement.
Yeah, and if you're, of course, boys on Dumpster, you have to be aware of pushes like that can be made through middle. Of course, being aware of the ARs that can kind of sit through back Ruins, exactly Zaptius' position. That was just a great kind of mid-game call-out that we see from NexTThreat, a good S&D call to kind of throw those smokes to kind of limit the line sights from the ARs in the back lines, knowing that they're strong with the FG42s. Kind of make it so since the smokes are down and they obviously rush toward a certain line set on that bomb, it makes it so that the SMG fights are now the preferred ones rather than the assault rifle ones. So major props, of course, you do see Methodz and Censor both pull ones out. And props to Censor, honestly. The up-close SMG fight, he obviously gets the first blood, which is huge for his team. And he's going to need to keep making plays like that if we want to see them advance to the finals and even win the finals tonight. Going to have to do some work with that SMG, and so far in this tournament, he's been able to do that.
Ooh, Onyx in a 2v1 is able to find one. Censor now has to disengage and gets that kill. The Censor also goes down and the bomb is down. And Methodz over at the B-bomb site making sure they're not coming over there, at least has awareness they can be planning there, as Zaptius and friends still trying to decide which site they want to engage, but at least they have Ricky over at the A site and they have Methodz over at B, so defense for NexTThreat is pretty well coordinated.
Ooh.
They can win the engagements once it does come over. Zaptius loses a teammate there. Now needs to just play patience.
In return, nearly takes out Methodz there on that back bomb. Definitely here's the sniper bullet whistle past the ear, but still looking on. Zaptius should get good timing, but no, Ricky is there for the pickup. Huge find there for Rick Slick, as yet again another sniper bullet going past a NexTThreat player. As if you're in return's point of view, you got to be pretty frustrated that those snipes have not connected, just hairs off, quite literally. As just toward his left is where Ricky is lying, picks up the bomb, and not a whole lot of time as his teammate drops. He'll pick up one on Ricky, but this is not going to be a round that would most likely go in his favor. And honestly, if I'm in his position, you don't really want to go for the plant. That's exactly why! Gets the perfect timing there onto Methodz and gets the turn on there, the 1 versus 2. I was going to say, in that scenario, there's no reason to go for the plant, really. And Methodz hops in the site thinking that he has to be going for the plant, but just overall a smart play from return, maybe even a call out from his teammate saying, hey man, listen, you don't need to do it. In the early snipes, I was saying getting so unlucky in this round. Well, luck paying off at the end. Didn't need to do the work with the Kar 98. He got it done with a machine pistol. Insane stuff.
Both teams just winning their offensive rounds, but yet a team has yet to win a defense. The Censor opens up with the first blood. Bomb going towards the cave side, mostly trying to focus on this cabin A site. As you can see, the players here from Dumpstered thought the push was coming in through ruins. Now they're kind of getting caught having to push mid-map where there's so many places and so many angles they can get shot from. Zaptius coming from behind, GloFrostyyy over at the mid-map. We'll take a look at here at Zaptius. Wins that engagement against Methodz, very important here, as now they even up the numbers 2-2. As GloFrostyyy going to wait for his teammate to come up a little bit closer, but they have to be wary of Nagafen, who cuts him down. GloFrostyyy not there for the trade and not able to finish off that final kill. 20 seconds remain into the round.
And here comes Frosty with the nade. This one could be good. Does get the hit markers, tries to engage, but Censor is there for the drop shot. Great play there coming in from base Censor Douglas, as he's able to obviously win that engagement. Yet again, holding on to that bomb site head glitch, and then obviously hops out for the pickup. And so far, at least from the boys on NexTThreat, what we've been kind of noticing, at least on their offensive pushes, is offense after offense, we're seeing victories countless times, as we're now even at 3 here. But at least from the boys on NexTThreat, what they've been doing is just trying to get to each bomb site as quick as possible, which has definitely kind of been making the guys on Dumpster feel a little bit uncomfortable, whether it's smokes, whether it's, you know, whatever it may be, fake grenades, or even just baits toward opposite sites. That's what they've been doing, and that's the reason why we're seeing at least the guys on NexTThreat win so many rounds, is just forcing their way, brute forcing their way towards sites and using that craftiness. The smokes out and the SMGs up close, as it looks like smokes being pulled out here from the guys on Dumpster. This time in favor for return here, as maybe a bait toward the B site to make the guys on NexTThreat worry, just because they know exactly how that strat works. And Methodz getting a little bit cheeky, just a little bit pushing out there in ruins, and Censor coming around Bell. We'll see if he and his teammates can find something, but Onyx wins a massive fight there onto Nagafen. Now a man advantage, 2-man advantage now, excuse me, as Censor left all by himself, but happens to get the headshot. Censor's just hitting some insane shots tonight despite the round loss. But it seems that Dumpster is just kind of slowly but surely grinding out the guys on NexTThreat and winning these rounds, and NexTThreat is just trying to get the bomb down as quickly as possible, then kind of retaking from there.
Just been offensive round wins after offensive round wins. Still yet a defense to be won by either side. And I'm not sure if it's the offense just switching to the A site, sort of throwing the defense off guard that are trying to rush B, or just first and second blood always going in favor of offense. It's just been a struggle for either team to defend a bomb site properly. Now Censor and friends trying to push this middle map. Onyx loses that gunfight to Nagafen, where now GloFrostyyy is going to be caught by 2 players coming from mid-map towards the B site, where GloFrostyyy needs some help, and here comes T return from the top of the map, but Censor needs to win this one, and he can't. But the rest of his teammates are able to clean up the final kills, and that was more of a team deathmatch, more than anything. But again, offensive round win here for NexTThreat.
Yeah, and it's just the guys on Dumpster really can't stop this offensive round victory every time for the guys on NexTThreat. I mean, even in that round, I think it's great they actually used the counter stuns despite the smoke. They know the smokes are most likely coming. They have them ready for that smoke to kind of come in toward that ruined bomb site. Of course, over in B, and they obviously toss those stuns out to kind of delay that bomb push that was most likely coming in from either Censor or Methodz. So smart play, kind of a mid-map adjustment that they end up calling out for, which is works out fantastic for them for a moment, but they just don't win the crucial gunfights. And yet again, another offensive round victory, as we'll see the guys on Dumpster potentially find yet again another one, making their way toward B themselves. As, like I said, back and forth, it's been quick rushing plays from NexTThreat and grind out victories for the guys on Dumpster. And we'll see how they can grind this one out as well, as that bomb has been dropped, a 3 versus 4 situation, and a huge pickup needed for either team would obviously grant them that 5th round. And at least so far, it would be incredibly likely that the boys on Dumpster will win this one, typically, but in a 2v4, now a 1 versus 4, most likely waving the white flag is returned.
No one can stop Methodz over at the B-bomb site. Every single time Dumpster go onto the same head glitch on the bottom of ruins, they get their forehead snapped off. Like, it's not working. Why do you keep going there? And they've dropped their bomb carrier, their 2nd teammate, and their 3rd teammate, and now the 4th person here at the exact same spot. So if it's not working, do something different. So now NexTThreat in the advantage currently, as we'll give them the offense. Most likely giving the bomb to Censor. Oh no, Nagafen will take that this time. Usually Censor is the objective carrier, as they send Censor towards the left side of the map. The lone wolf, as Methodz has an important engagement here against T return and wins it.
Oh, and Methodz at the same time also crosses out the nade, so 2 kills found. As it looks like play number 4 and play number 2. Well, Zaptius and Frostyyy lingering toward that B site. As you'll see Zaptius start to make the rush forward. This could be the hat trick for Methodz. Yes, finds the 3rd. And now Frostyyy, the last one alive. Map on his shoulders, and he'll also get dropped. So just like that, this series is over. It will be NexTThreat who does advance to the finals. Of course, congratulations to those boys. But in that last round, what I'd really like to see was that it was constantly, at least on the offenses for NexTThreat, as they, of course, win the round prior to this one, kind of at least able to kind of break that bond of the constant offensive wins. But in this one, at least, what we end up seeing from NexTThreat is yet again they toss out the smokes, the stuns get returned from Dumpster, of course expecting to see that B bomb site pushed over inside of ruins. However, though, it's not the case. In fact, I believe it was what was it? I believe it was who was it? Methodz, who actually makes the rush forward, making them think, okay, so most likely the bait toward that ruined bomb site is going to happen. The rush is getting ready to come in. Let's get our stuns ready. As they toss the stuns over, Methodz is already in their face with the gun. So kind of thinking about those prior strategies. Okay, here comes the slow bait. Let's go and get the stuns ready. As it's happening, Methodz is already there, taking them out. Obviously tosses out the nade, gets that one as well. Methodz is just a one-man wrecking crew. Didn't play incredibly strong when it came down to the hard point. There's actually Nagafen and Ricky, along with Censor, who are playing incredibly strong as far as that role is considered. But he picked it up when it came down to the search and destroy. And like I said earlier, this is a guy to be watching out for. This is also a team who I think at certain moments can definitely play strong, right? I mean, this group, when it came down to search and destroy, obviously played very sound. They made constant round adjustments that really kind of worked out in their favor versus a very solid group. Of course, we've heard of Onyx. We've heard of Zaptius. I think I've heard of Frostyyy as well now that I think about it. This is kind of like their preferred game mode. And when it came down to, being down in certain rounds, kind of grinding out the offenses, what kind of adjustments can we make? They obviously make the correct ones. They obviously win a defensive round when they absolutely had to. And in the hard point, where they were down early, they ended up making a comeback and just absolutely destroy on Gibraltar as well. So a lot of crucial plays coming in for the NexTThreat crew.